To debrief this very packed agenda, I am joined from Strasbourg by MEP Saskia Bricmont. You're an MEP for the Greens, obviously a very packed agenda here in Strasbourg. We really feel a sense of urgency, but I want to pick up on a vote yesterday. The European Parliament finally agreed to implement and go ahead with the US-EU trade deal. Some would say that was a total capitulation, that deal. Are you happy with the result?
Indeed. I'm part of the ones that say it's a total capitulation. There's obviously a willingness from the von der Leyen majority to show signs of appeasement with Trump. I'm not sure this is the language he understands. There was a majority, I think, in favor also in the parliament to activate the anti-coercion instrument that the EU has to reply to such commercial trade attacks from third countries, and we wanted it to be activated to show some teeth also to the different attacks and threats given by Trump and its administration. So I think the current answers are indeed a bit too weak from the EU side, and to link it with the other debate, like the industrial debate, it's high time for the EU to give preferences to its own industry, to think about eventual tariffs, additional tariffs towards the US, for instance, and also to take back the compass of the Green Deal to really put the competitiveness hand in hand with sustainability.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack there, because you say Trump has been very aggressive on Europe and we have been very weak. To me, it seems that after Greenland, however, something has changed. Isn't there a contradiction between, implementing this deal and saying we'll put it ahead with conditions, but also the fact that, with Greenland, with tech regulation, the Trump administration has shown repeatedly that they do not see this as a done deal. They will come back for more concessions. So why approve this deal now? I'm very confused.
I think it's more the narrative of showing unity at EU side in terms of answers. But indeed, I'm also confused about the current reply, because indeed there is this kind of de-escalation since Trump somehow is less vocal about Greenland, but I'm pretty sure is not giving up. He has an international agenda. It's pretty clear in its security strategy as well. And I think Europeans have to think about them now and take their own faith into their hands.
So you say we've got to think about Europeans, we have to think about ourselves. To go ahead without the United States, however, that would completely change the playbook since the Second World War. Is that warranted now because you say the US, it's no longer an ally? It's time to say, at the very least, it's a rival at times. Can it be an enemy to European values?
I'm not saying it's an enemy, and we should not escalate. This is not the question. I think we have to show teeth, as I said, and give appropriate answers when the EU is somehow attacked, or if other countries deliver us a trade war, be it the US, be it other countries. We also have other allies to work closer and hand in hand with. Thinking about Canada, I'm thinking about Latin America, I'm thinking about Asian countries, Japan. The EU has other allies, has to develop and still rely on multilateralism, but work with allies. And I'm not saying the US is becoming an enemy. I think Trump obviously has a huge problem with other continents, including Europe, and he wants to show that Europe is weak. It's up to us Europeans to show that the Europeans and Europe is not weak. It's also a powerful continent that has a lot of economic possibilities and strong industry. And
so talk
we
about
see it today with the summit.
Let's talk about the industry. The industry is now really at the core of everything. The head of the Commission has said we're going to cut down paperwork, we're going to make it easier to do business. Is that the right approach? Would you say, yes, let's give the industry what they need? They take priority over everything else now.
Of course, we need a strong European industrial policy, but again, it goes hand in hand with the Green Deal, with sustainability standards.
The Green Deal, I don't hear it anymore. Nobody even talks about the Green Deal. It's gone. People talk about a clean industry.
And that's the huge issue. I think the Draghi report showed it clearly. We need simplification. We need also a vision for Europe, make our industry stronger and invest. I don't see the investments today, and that's also highly needed at EU level to really decide to invest in our industry, but also to green our industry. Otherwise, we will be the old continent. Definitely, the Chinese invest, other continents invest in their transition, and Europe is now giving up on its climate and ecological transition, but it's a condition for our competitiveness.
Well, thank you very much for that. And of course, Maeve, the focus, of course, is on the investment, but the question is, how do you pay for it? And that's one of the big topics that will come up tomorrow. What is the financing and who's going to pay? Is this private sector money, or is there now a path for joint debt and we go back to public money?